Hi, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm really excited because I'm going to be doing a kind of like part 2 to my pump junkie video, which I will link up above. So essentially I'm going to tell you guys what pumps I've been using and kind of like what I use them for. I do want to put a little bit of like a disclaimer that you do not have to have a ton of pumps. Like you don't need to have 5 or 6, you don't even have to have like 3. The most you should really have is 2. I highly suggest getting 2 only because if you're an exclusive pumper and that one pump that you're using breaks, you don't have another pump and that could be really bad. So I would just suggest getting 2 pumps. One that's kind of like a big stationary one is nice, and then a smaller travel one. Those are kind of like the general rules that I get. But the reason why I sort of wanted to make like this second video was because I get a lot of comments on my YouTube channel, you know, like what pump should I pick? Like which pump is the best? Like that type of thing. So I decided I would kind of do like another like updated version of, you know, what pumps I've been using, what I like about them. Sort of like a part 2, I don't know. This was kind of a spur of the moment like video. I was gonna do a different one. I actually was gonna be filming the Luna review, which I am going to be putting out to you guys really soon. It's been like so weird now that I've started school. Like I literally have almost no time. I just finished like a speed study and a speed pump. So I don't know, but you know, it'll all work out, and I'm so excited to finally be sitting down and filming for you guys. My hair, oh, the postpartum hair loss is like still just really bad, but you know, hopefully today the hair doesn't look too bad. So I think I'm gonna go over my travel pumps first. And this video is not sponsored at all. So for the first 2 pumps that I'm gonna talk about are the travel pumps. And this is the Baby Buddha and this is the Medela Freestyle, or Medela. I never know. I think you're actually supposed to say Medela, so, but Medela just sounds better. We're just gonna, let's try Medela, and then if we go back to Medela, whatever. Anyways. So which one do I use more? The Freestyle. I use the Freestyle a lot more because it has this little clip here on the back. The battery life is 100 million times better than the battery on this one. The suction is also a lot gentler on the Freestyle. It's more of a vibration. The Freestyle suction is not like the Medela pump-in style suction where it's like really The Freestyle does have that sound, but the suction is more of a vibration. The suction on the Baby Buddha is very intense, but ever since I've really figured out that my flange size is the extra small Pump-in Pals, I haven't had any discomfort with the Baby Buddha. I don't use it as often as I used to, only because I feel like the suction was really intense for me. And I pretty much use this guy if I have a really bad clog and that clog sort of hasn't gone away in like 5 or 6 pumps. I will break this baby out and he usually always just gets rid of the clog. And you know, I use any of my LaVie products, they always get the clog out like instantly. But back to the Freestyle, I do have this Freestyle hacked, so I'm not actually using the original Freestyle parts. I will link my Freestyle video up above so that you guys can check out that hack, because it's really, really nice. Because I just like, since I pump for a milk bank, I have to be extra, extra sanitary with all of my pump parts. I feel like the Freestyle parts are like a lot more, just like a lot more to clean, where my just regular Medela parts aren't. So I ended up figuring out a hack for this pump. And I love this little guy. Like he's just really cute, and I don't feel like it's very loud. It's perfect for in the car. That's pretty much where I use this pump, is in the car. I have been using it at school. I never even have to like bring a charger with me because the battery is just so good on this pump. I don't know, I'm like blown away by the battery. And the other thing that I like too is that it has this little protective thing for the plug for the charge. I don't know why. I like that. I feel like like you're dealing with liquids, and I like that this is here. I don't know. It's a good perk. So the Baby Buddha, like I said, I pretty much use this like if I have a clog. I will use it for if kind of I feel like it's for those pump sessions where I'm like really in a rush, because this thing like cuts my pumping time by at least 10 to 15 minutes. I just don't have to pump as long because it really empties me really, really well. The battery life isn't good on it, but I do like how it's small enough and it has the lanyard that you can sort of like put it in your bra like this, or there is a clip that you can buy on Amazon that you can clip on the back. I just haven't yet, but you can like clip it on the back and then it's like an actual clip like onto your pumping bra. I just haven't done that yet because like I just sort of do it like this. Ow. But you know, it's something to know. I can like link that clip down below. I feel like it's only like $8 or something, but I just like haven't gotten around to dealing with it. I do have the Baby Buddha hacked as well to Medela parts. I don't think I've actually made a Baby Buddha hack video, but if I have, I'll link it up above, and if I haven't, comment down below and I'll make that one of my next ones. So you know, as I don't use this one as much as the Freestyle, but I wanted to mention it because I do really like it. I just don't use it as much as I was using kind of when I was first exclusively pumping. So I'll link some of those videos up above too, and I think some of them are actually down below. But I really like this pump. Like it's really small and tiny. It is like a little bit on the louder side. I feel like it's a little bit louder than the Freestyle, but like overall these two pumps are mainly my travel pumps. This one I would say is like my clog guy. Like when I have a clog, I definitely go to him. But so the Medela Freestyle and the Baby Buddha are my two favorite travel pumps, and if you can get your hands on them, try it. This one I actually got used because he's originally like $400. This one, I think I got this one used, but it was like still in the box for like $80 or $90. But I think you can get this like pretty cheap on their website. Sometimes they have sales. You know, I'll have everything linked down below for you guys. Okay, so in this video I am going to be talking about my kind of renewed thoughts about the Medela Sonata, and I will link my original kind of review of that pump up here, and I'm just gonna like jump in. This pump, like, so this was the pump that I first was using when I first started exclusively pumping. This is the one that I used in the hospital, and I was also using the parts. I never used the pump parts when I was started pumping for the milk bank. But in that video about my original thoughts of the Sonata, I said that I wasn't too impressed with the parts. I felt that the suction was pretty intense. I feel like I was a little bit on the fence about it. Now I definitely, for using it for at least 6 months, I definitely have different and new opinions about it. This is my main pump. This is the pump I use most of the time. And the main reason why I use it most of the time is because it has the rechargeable battery, and it's easy to just like carry around because it has the rechargeable battery. Another reason why I like using it is because I actually really like the tubing and how it's just like one long tube. Let me go and get the tubing. So the tubing is just this one long piece that extends here, and then it has like the Y tubing, kind of like the Freestyle. But the reason why I like that is because you don't really have a ton of tubes coming out of you. It just, I don't know, it's a little bit cleaner. And since I've gotten more into the exclusively pumping route, now that I'm like 6 months past, well, almost, it's just nice to kind of have less tubes. It's also really quiet. The battery life on this thing isn't the best, but it's pretty decent. I would have to say it's pretty decent. And I love that it has the memory feature. The letdown is really, really good. I feel like it's like enough of a fast kind of suction that it really gets a good letdown. If I have clogs, this guy will totally get it out. It's not like too heavy, and it does fit pretty well in my Sarah Wells pump bags, but this is my main pump. This is the one that I use every day. I do switch out between pumps, but this one is usually always sitting at my pump station, and I always like try to make sure that it's charged because I use it all the time. This is a more expensive pump. I have seen it a lot on pumping, like the Facebook Marketplace for sale, but it is a more expensive pump. I do know that insurance does cover it, but not all of it. So that is something to look for if you are interested in getting this pump. Maybe you can get it through your insurance. The parts that come with this, I really don't like the parts. They're really top heavy. My opinions on those haven't really changed. I don't use them. I hacked this pump so that you can use regular Medela parts, and that video I will link up above. It's a really great little pump. I did write to the company about the interface. As you can see, you really like can't see anything right now. And I mentioned that to them, that if you're outside or in bright light like this, you can't see the interface. And that I feel like is a problem. And it's a bummer because this is a really pretty pump, but you kind of just can't even see the buttons. And then when it's on, it's kind of hard to see the lit up interface, and especially if you're outside pumping, you really can't see it. And so I did mention that to them, and they were really appreciative. Medela has really good customer service, so you know, I wasn't surprised at that at all. But the Medela Sonata is my go-to everyday pump, and if you're kind of looking for something every day, I would suggest the Medela Sonata. I really like it. I do know that there's a lot of people who don't like this pump, but then again, liking the pump and not liking the pump, it's a personal like thing. So it's really hard, excuse me, it's really hard to kind of, you know, just say you're gonna love this pump, because you might not, because it is like all about comfort and that type of thing. So the next pump that I'm gonna like briefly talk about is the Motif Luna. I am gonna be putting out my full opinions on this pump, so I'm just gonna briefly talk about this pump, but I use this pump also on a day-to-day basis. I pretty much alternate between this pump and this pump daily. So one pump session, I'll do this pump, another session, I do this one, or maybe I do a lot of pumps in the morning with the Luna, or like a lot of pumps in the afternoon with the Sonata. It really kind of like differs, but since I'm exclusively pumping, I've noticed that if I switch out my pumps, I get more output, and my body seems to just like not get as used to the pump, and like doesn't, I don't know, it just kind of like keeps my body on its toes. But this pump has been really, really great. I'm not going to give you my full opinion because I want to put it in another video, but this is a pump that I'm using, and if you're interested in getting it, I would highly suggest it. I do think you can get this pump through insurance now. I'm not sure if you have to pay like an extra fee like with the Sonata, but this is a good guy. I would highly recommend checking out this pump. One of the pumps that I wasn't really going to mention, but I think I should because I do use it occasionally, and I know everybody uses this pump, but that is the Spectra S1. This is the rechargeable one. If you're on the fence about which pump to get regarding the Spectra, if you should get the Spectra S1 or the Spectra S2, get the S1, like upgrade, because this has the rechargeable battery. So when one of your kids or your baby needs you or something, you can pick up this pump and go wherever you need to go. Where if you don't have the rechargeable battery, you have to like literally unhook yourself or like stop pumping. You know, like where this, you can keep pumping while you're walking to the bathroom to help wipe somebody, or the dog needs to be let out because they're gonna like throw up on your rug or something. Like you can just get up and like do that. I don't use this pump on a regular basis. I've really like stopped using this pump almost altogether, only because I just don't feel like it stimulates me enough. I do really like this pump. I think that this pump is really great for like the general population. Like if you're looking for a good pump and you're like, oh, should I get the Medela pumping style or the Spectra? Get the Spectra S1. Like that's what I would kind of compare it to, because a lot of people do like this pump. I'm just not one of them because I need a little bit extra stimulation. That's why I like the Sonata, is because it's a little bit, the suction is a little bit more intense. If I'm like in pain, or if I've had like a cracked nipple or something, this is the pump that I go to. Like if I need something more general or gentle, I go to the Spectra. Like if I'm just not, I don't know, like it's just, I pretty much only reach this pump if I need gentle suction, or if I have maybe like a bad clog and then like the clog had come out, but because I was pumping for so long, you know, like now my next pump session is coming and my nipples are just like, oh, you know, like you killed me at that last session. This is the pump that I'll use. And I love that it's rechargeable. I do have the pink one as well, but that one I had with my son, and it's really just like seen its day, and I think it's kind of like on its way out, so that's why I ended up picking up this one. And I love it. Like I would suggest totally go the extra mile and try to get the S1. But if you're sort of like, you know, which one should I get between like the Sonata and the Spectra? It's really hard for me to just say like which one, because if I was gonna pick, I would pick the Sonata, but that doesn't necessarily mean that like you would like the Sonata. Like it's hard to kind of tell people which pump they should get. It's more of like, what are you looking for in your pump? Do you want something that's portable? Do you want something that's more gentle? Have you pumped before and noticed that the pumping style was too rough for you? I never noticed that the pumping style was too rough for me. I just noticed that it was kind of like really loud and bulky, and I was like, but it got me really good output. I did get the Spectra as my second pump, and I always kind of felt like I was like, this like isn't really draining me as well as the pumping style did. If you feel like that way, like if you were sort of in that mindset, I would try the Sonata or the Luna, or even the Freestyle. The Freestyle suction, I would say, is a lot like the Spectra suction. The Spectra suction isn't like the pull, it's a vibration. It's a very different type of suction. I've never felt a pump that's close to it. The one that's probably closest is maybe the Luna, but even still, like I think the Luna it's not nowhere near like what the Spectra suction is like, but the Luna of all the other pumps I feel like is closest to the Spectra, if that makes sense. So, I'm sorry if that was confusing, but like it's hard to kind of just be like, oh, you know, get this pump and this will be the most perfect pump for you. That's why I kind of suggest having two if you're exclusively pumping. If you're just going to be pumping once in a while, I think the pumping style, the Spectra, the Sonata, the Freestyle, any of those pumps are fine. You really don't need more than one pump. You can just have like your regular plug-in pump and then maybe a hand pump like the Medela Harmony. So, you know, it's just what are your needs, and then kind of go from there. What does your health insurance cover? Go from there, like that type of stuff. One thing that I did want to mention, because I feel like I haven't mentioned these in a while in any of my videos, are the LaVie products. I use these on a day-to-day basis. Sadly, my second set of LaVie warmers just like crapped out on me, so I'm going to have to buy another set because I use these so often that I need to have two sets. But I love the LaVie warming massagers. These things are just a godsend. I think on their website they are going to be launching like a whole new batch of them, so hopefully I'll get my hands on them. And the LaVie roller is what I use for on the go. So when I'm at school or in the car and like I don't, you know, have a plug or something for these, or I just like don't want things to be like too noisy, I just use the roller. And then for clogs, I use my LaVie original massager. This thing is just so cool. Some people have said that they've used like regular vibrators, and I mean, I guess that's fine, like, you know, do whatever you want, but like this thing, like, I don't know, it's like angled perfect that you can just like get in those clogs. So what I do for a clog is I will turn my LaVie warmer up to the highest heat setting. Then I will turn it on to the vibration setting, and I put the heat pretty much like directly behind or on top of where the clog is. And then I put my LaVie massager on like the highest massage mode. It has like a couple different modes, but I have it just on like the regular like massage mode. And I massage the clog right in front of it. You don't want to massage behind it because that's not where the clog actually is. It started in the front and then the clog like backed up, if that makes sense. So it's kind of like, think of it as like plumbing, you know, like you want to get it out like where it first started. So I just like, you know, rotate and like really try and get it like in there. And I do this all like while I'm pumping. So I like have my flange and everything hooked up in my pumping bra, and I just like try to get the clog out, and you'll be able to feel the clog come out. Like usually when the clog comes out, you get like a really intense spray and you get like a slight kind of pulling, tugging, almost painful, like tingly feeling, and that means that the clog is coming out. And so I just keep this here and the warming massager pads, I just keep it there, and I kind of like do this thing where I like rotate like this, because it sometimes the way the ducts are, like the way you sort of rotate it, the vibration will change rotation as well, and depending on like where the clog is, it can really help like get it out. Like if you just kind of like go like this on the clog, it's like not gonna get anything out. You really want to like get rotating in there. And you also want to make sure too, like when you have a clog, massage up here by your collarbone, because there's all this, like all of this also lets down here. So if you're like massaging your shoulders or massaging your collarbone here, like I'm probably gonna have a letdown after this, but you want to kind of get like right up in here, and even like in your armpit. Sometimes I even try like my arms, just like whatever is gonna make you like relax a little bit more, that'll help. And it's really good to try this method right as or like right after you have a nice letdown. If you don't feel your letdowns, do this right at the beginning of your pump session, and maybe in the middle, depending on how long you pump. But some people don't feel letdowns, and that doesn't mean anything. It's just your body. I've always felt my letdowns. They're actually like pretty painful. Oh, and I completely forgot. I actually have a coupon code for you guys for the LaVie products, so you can get 10% off. I will link it on the screen below. Some of the proceeds do go to support me and my channel. I wanted to share the code with you guys so that you can get some money off, and check out some of these products if you're interested. The code is for any of the LaVie products. They do have a couple of like supplements, and there's a couple of other things on their website, and I'll have it linked down below. I think that's all for today's Pump Junkie video. I kind of like that sort of like Pump Junkie thing, so I'm gonna have a hashtag of it, and if you guys want to use it on Instagram, that would be fun. I know some YouTubers like call their subscribers like certain names, so it'd be kind of funny if we called like the subscribers for my channel like Pump Junkies or something. I don't know, like I'm kind of lame, but I thought it was funny, and I did want to share with you guys that I have been using that hashtag, and it's I don't know, it's just funny. But I hope you guys enjoyed today's video, and if you aren't subscribed, please subscribe and join our little group here. If you have any questions or comments or whatever, leave them down below, and don't forget to give this video a like. We are trying to get to 500 subscribers, and then I will have a giveaway. I'm thinking of maybe giving away a pump, because I really, you know, have way too many, and I need to give something away, or you know, something. Leave a comment below on like what you're thinking. Like maybe should I do like another kind of box giveaway, or should I just do like one item or something? But we're not quite at 500 yet, so you know, we have a little bit of time to figure it out. But I hope you guys enjoyed today's video, and I will see you in my next.